Welcome back to Top Gamu. We're back with another awesome top, and once again, we're diving into the world of Mario. But this time, we're focusing on Super Mario Odyssey, the game that took Mario's transformations to a whole new level. As you've already seen in the title, today we're flipping the script from our last video and looking at the 8 most ridiculous Mario transformations. Some of these are funny, some are bizarre, and others will make you question Nintendo's sanity. Let's jump right in. Number 8. Kicking off our list at number 8, we have a tree. Yep, Mario can literally transform into a tree in Super Mario Odyssey. Now, you might be expecting some cool tree-related powers, maybe launching acorns, growing at super speed, or at least smacking Goombas with branches. But nope. Instead, you just stand there. Okay, to be fair, Mario can move, just a tiny bit, enough to make you question whether you're actually controlling him or just imagining things. But here's the twist. In some locations in deep woods, if you slightly wiggle as a tree, a hidden power moon will appear. So while it's not the most exciting transformation, at least it has some purpose beyond just blending into the scenery. And believe it or not, this isn't even the only plant Mario can become. In the Sand Kingdom, he can also possess a cactus by throwing Cappy at it. And just like with the tree, you can jump and move it around. So whether you prefer to be a desert cactus or a deep forest tree, one thing's for sure, Mario's plant life isn't exactly action-packed. Number 7. Next up on our list of the most ridiculous Mario transformations, we have 2 things you never expected to become in a video game: a pole and a fork. Because apparently, Super Mario Odyssey wants you to experience life as both street furniture and cutlery. Let's start with poles, also known as safety bars in early versions. When Mario captures one, he doesn't swing around like an acrobat or use it to fight enemies. He just pulls back and launches himself forward, slingshot style. It's handy for clearing gaps, and if you shake the controller, he'll launch even farther. Vertical poles send him flying straight up. But here's the weird part. They aren't fully solid. Mario can phase through them, but if he stops moving, they push him out. So no, you can't stand on one, because that would make too much sense. And then there's the Volbonans, tiny sentient forks from the Luncheon Kingdom. Some of them just walk around cooking. But the hatless ones? Those are the ones Mario can become. Once captured, he can flick himself forward like a spoon catapulting a pea across the table. It's a lot like the poles, except this time, you're launching yourself as living silverware. Some sections even have you flinging from one Volbonan to another in a fast-paced sequence, making Mario's fork-powered parkour surprisingly fun. So, whether you prefer being a pole stuck in place or a fork that flings itself across lava, one thing's for sure. These transformations are as ridiculous as they come. Number 6. Alright, we've seen Mario turn into a pole and even a living fork, but now it's time for something even weirder. He can become a taxi. Yes, a full-size, 4-wheeled New Donk City taxi. Because why stomp on Goombas when you can just drive over them instead? Most taxis in Super Mario Odyssey are just part of the background, parked or driving around the city. Jump on one, and it'll bounce you into the air. Pretty normal, right? But then there's one special taxi, a mysterious vehicle with an orb on top that Mario can capture. And once he does, he doesn't just honk the horn or take passengers for a ride. Nope. The entire taxi warps into another dimension. So while this transformation might not let Mario actually drive, it still lands a solid spot on this list. Because really, nothing screams ridiculous quite like a taxi that doubles as an interdimensional portal. Number 5. Of all the things Mario can transform into, you'd expect something spectacular, right? A fire-breathing beast? A flying machine? Nope. Instead, in Super Mario Odyssey, Mario can possess a completely normal human. And somehow, that ends up being one of the weirdest transformations in the game. New Donkers are the sharply dressed, ultra-realistic residents of New Donk City. With their business suits, fedoras, and serious expressions, they look like they walked straight out of a noir film. And for some reason, they're all way taller than Mario. Seriously, what happened there? But here's the kicker. One of these new donkers, despite looking like your everyday business person, is actually a pretty solid stand-in for Donald Trump. Yep, one of the hatless new donkers is clearly modeled after the former US president. Instead of inheriting any of those high-powered business skills, Mario's big ability is to control an RC car. That's right. His one and only skill in this form is zooming around a tiny remote-controlled vehicle. Sure, it's a fun little challenge, but let's be real. When you're used to throwing fireballs and riding dinosaurs, controlling a miniature car just feels like a seriously odd use of presidential power. So, while this transformation might not be flashy, it's definitely one of the strangest. Number 4. Manholes. At first glance, they might seem like a simple way to access underground areas. But in Super Mario Odyssey, these covers take on a whole new level of absurdity. In the Metro Kingdom, Mario can capture manholes with Cappy and move them out of the way, opening up hidden paths and secret tunnels that lead to all sorts of treasures. It's not just about flipping a cover anymore. It's about clearing the way to underground passageways with the power of a cap. These manholes aren't just stationary either. When Mario moves them, he can uncover secret areas like the rotating maze or the underground power plant, unlocking all the mysteries of the city's sewers. So while they may seem like a simple hole in the ground, they're actually key to Mario's adventures in the Metro Kingdom. Who needs crazy transformations or insane power-ups when you can just move a manhole? Forget saving the world, Mario. You've truly reached the peak of gaming innovation with this one. Number 3. Now, we've seen Mario transform into all sorts of bizarre things over the years, but sometimes the most ridiculous transformations are the ones you least expect. Enter the humble zipper. In Super Mario Odyssey, zippers aren't just something you find on your pants. They're a game-changing tool Mario uses to control terrain. Found exclusively in the Lake Kingdom, these zippers hold parts of the world together, and Mario can control the slider to unzip the fabric of reality itself. It's as absurd as it sounds, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Once Mario captures one of these zippers, he can move the slider across the zipper's teeth, undoing the hold and opening up hidden paths. Number 2. Now let's talk about two of the most whimsical and totally not weird at all objects you can capture in Super Mario Odyssey: letters and hint art. You probably never thought you'd be chasing down letters in a video game, right? But in the Metro Kingdom post-game, Mario gets to play the role of a letter collector. Your task? Capture these letters and move them around like a puzzle until they spell Mario. It's like Mario's version of Tetris, except with more letters and less logic. Once you've got them in place, the Power Moon finally shows up. Because what could be more epic than arranging letters? I mean, wow, right? Now, if that wasn't ridiculous enough, let's talk about hint art. This gem has Mario finding photos or graphics scattered around the kingdoms that, wait for it, give you hints for power moons. That aren't even in the same kingdom. Because why not add some extra confusion to the mix? You'll need to interpret these cryptic images, track down the exact location, and ground pound it to get your power moon. And hey, once you're done solving a handful of these, Archivist Toadette rewards you with more power moons. Because who wouldn't want a reward for solving random art puzzles? These quirky additions really make you appreciate the art of randomness in Super Mario Odyssey, where even the smallest things are somehow tied to obtaining those oh-so-important power moons. Number 1. Now let's get ready for the top spot on our list. If you thought the other captures in Super Mario Odyssey were weird, just wait until you hear about this one. In the Luncheon Kingdom, Mario gets the chance to control a giant chunk of meat. Yes, you read that correctly. It sounds bizarre, and it is, but that's what makes it so memorable. But there's a twist you won't expect. This meat can only be captured once in the entire game. Curious to know why? Stick around, because this is a transformation you won't want to miss. In the art of Super Mario Odyssey, there's a depiction of Volbonans turning a sleeping T-Rex into this massive slab of meat, though it doesn't actually appear in the final game. But capturing the meat for a short time is yet another example of the ridiculous, yet strangely captivating transformations Mario can experience. Because honestly, who wouldn't want to control a giant hunk of meat just for the fun of it? And that's a wrap for today's video. If you enjoyed this weird and wacky list of Mario captures, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to Top Gemu for more upcoming gaming curiosities and top lists. Drop a comment letting us know which transformation you think is the most outrageous. Until next time, keep gaming and keep it weird.